Welcome in, gang. It is A-Bomb with you on a Wednesday. And man, look at that scoreboard. It is 13-2, the Braves. Up big time on the Mets. And as we go along here in the stream, I'll do my best to get caught up on how we scored those 13 runs. I have not watched any of the game tonight yet. I was out taking a walk just a little while ago. And I wasn't listening to the game. So I think what I'll do is pull up the box score and see what I can find out. Chavez is the new pitcher for the Braves. Jesse Chavez has pitched a grand total of 2.1 innings this year. I don't know this guy. He looks a little bit older, you know. Looks like he's mid to upper 30s. He's got a lot of ink. He's got some kind of funny hair. So, it's good to be back here on the live stream. Coast to Coast has been off for a few days. MASH is in. Welcome in. There's a fly ball to left field, and that's caught on the warning track by Almonte for out number 1. We are in the top of the 6th inning from Truist. I went to the Hawks game last night. I'll get into that coming up in just a little bit. We've got scores to check on around baseball. We'll get to that. Plus, there's an NBA playoff game going on right now. We'll talk about that. Lots and lots and lots of stuff going on in the world of sports. We're going to do our best to cover it all right here on this little show called Coast to Coast. So without further ado, let's take a look at the scoreboard as the next player for the Mets grounds out to the pitcher. And that's 2 quick outs in the top of the 6th inning. Keckerman, welcome in. Scores brought to you by treasurehunt.ga. Top of the 7th inning in Cleveland. The Tigers have a 9-4 lead over the Indians. In the Bronx, the Yankees up 7-3 on the Angels, 3rd inning. The Marlins, 8. The Phillies, 5 in the 5th inning. Mariners, 6. Blue Jays, 5. Also 5th inning. The Red Sox are up 5-1 on the Royals in the 6th. Padres, 7. Reds, 5. That one is at Great American Ballpark, and it's in the 5th inning. From Houston, the Orioles are up 4-1 on the Stros, 4th inning. And the Sox, the Southsiders, the Chicago White Sox, 3, Minnesota Twins, 1. That one's in the 3rd. And we've got a couple of finals. Welcome in Gibby, by the way, and Bo Horton. Welcome in. This one's final. The Cardinals beat the Diamondbacks 7-4. It was the Brewers 15 and the Cubbies 7. The Rockies beat the Pirates 6-2. Another big score. Lots of big scores around baseball tonight, including this one where the Nationals beat the Rays 15-6. Braves have their own crooked number up on the board. We have a 13-burger, and that is a 1-2-3 inning. We'll now head to the bottom of the 6th. The Braves will come up and see if they can add to that 13-2 ass kicking. I'll be right back after this break. Heredia leading off. He's got a couple RBIs tonight. 1 for 3 with a double. Yes, indeed. Thanks, Mashburn. Go ahead and smash the like button. Subscribe. Notification bell so you know when this amazing content comes online. 2-1 pitch is grounded over to the second baseman, and not a good throw to first, but runner is tagged out. And Heredia the first out in the bottom of the 6th. I will be going to the game Saturday. Braves, Marlins coming up Saturday. I will be there. I will make it a point to upload a live video. I did the same thing last night at the Hawks game. If you're interested, when this gets done, when the game is done, don't go over there right now, but when this game is over, go check out my Hawks video from last night, live from State Farm Arena. Here's Almonte. He's 1 for 3. And, man, I was not a happy camper last night when I heard that Trae Young wasn't going to start or even play at all tomorrow. Yesterday. Sorry. When I heard that Trae Young was not going to be in the game yesterday, I already had these tickets. And I was like, man, I wish I could sell these or whatever, give them back. But ended up going. Trae Young did not play, but we absolutely gave Milwaukee way more than they could handle. And we ended up winning the game by 22 points. So it was great, man. Had an amazing time. The place was rocking. It was the first event that I've been to post-COVID. So it's like, over a year and a half? In fact, the very last sporting event I went to prior to COVID was the Braves and Cardinals in the 2019 National League Division Series. I want to say it was a Game 5 of a best-of-5 series. In fact, it was. And so the Braves could have won that game and advanced on in the playoffs. Instead, the Cardinals put up 10 runs in the first inning. That sucked. I was at that game, and that was the last sporting event I went to prior to yesterday. Yesterday made up for it. There's a little duck short into right field. That's going to fall in. 2-out single for Almonte. That's his second base hit tonight. Mets have a pitcher that I cannot pronounce. I'm not familiar with this guy. His name is Szapuki. Cannot say I've heard of this cat. Here is Kevon Smith, the catcher tonight for the Braves. He's batting a cool 190 on the season, but he is 1 for 2 tonight, including an RBI. One of his 3 RBIs on the season came tonight. Mets won last night while I was at that Hawks game. The Mets had a comeback win against the Braves. The Braves were up 3-0 at one point on an Ozzie Albies 3-run home run, but Mets came back and won it 4-3. Was hoping for a sweep so we could gain some ground on these mofos. Every time we sniff 500, we always take a couple of steps backwards. In fact, I'm going to check the standings right now. There's a line drive. Kevon Smith with a 2-out single. We got runners on first and second. Check that. There's only 1 out. First and second, only 1 out for the Braves. So, entering today's play, the Braves are 5.5 games out of first, in 4th place in the East at 37-41. We're behind the Phillies, the Nats, and then the Mets in first place. In our last 10 games, we are 5-5. Here's Jesse Chavez, the pitcher. He's going to bat for himself. There is a strike. It's 0-1. 28,000 plus tonight at Truist Park. I have a feeling when I go on Saturday, it's going to be a mob scene there. I'm sure they're doing fireworks. Since it's so close to the 4th, you know they're going to be doing that. That always draws a lot of extra people. It's going to be hot. Hopefully the Braves can beat the Marlins. The start is at 4 o'clock. You don't get those a whole lot. They usually either start the games at 1 or at 7:30. This one starts at 4 o'clock on Saturday. Extra hot. It's 1-2 to Chavez. But again, I don't mind. It is so much fun going to that event last night. I needed that in my life. I hadn't done anything fun like that in a long time. So it was well worth the very expensive ticket price that I paid for the playoff game. And it wasn't like it was some awesome ticket. Actually, the seats were pretty good. The seats were not too bad. But the ticket was $300. Normally, I wouldn't want to spend that kind of money, but I rationalized it with the thought that I have not gone to any other event in like a year and a half, right? I have been saving up money during this whole thing. So, because we won the game last night, it ended up being well worth the cost. And we've got a viewer in, SBFM Baseball. Hello, welcome in, go Braves. And there is a strikeout. On the 3-2 pitch, Chavez struck out. So now we've got 2 outs, runners at first and second, back to the top of the Braves lineup. And it's Acuna's turn. Let's see what he's done tonight. Let's see if he has contributed to these 13 runs. I don't know. I just turned the game on about 10-15 minutes ago. Okay, so he has hit a home run tonight. He's already 1 for 4, and we're only in the 6th inning. And apparently it was a moonshot. In the dirt, it's 1-0 to Acuna. Adrianza waiting on deck. There are 2 outs in the inning, however. We're efforting Bone Crusher. We hope he pops in just a little bit as soon as he gets that notification. Next pitch is upstairs, 2-0. Zapuki looks in for the sign. And here comes the 2-0. Swing and miss. 2-1. Same 2 teams tomorrow night. Game 3 of the series starts at 7:20 tomorrow night. And then the Marlins come in for that weekend series. And let's see who the probables are for that game on Saturday that I'm going to. Let's see who I should expect to see on the mound. Oh boy. Kyle Muller, the pitcher for the Braves on Saturday. He's 1-1 on the season with a 2.7 ERA. Acuna pops one up in the infield. Who wants it? The second baseman catches it and falls to the ground at the same time. But he did hold on to the ball, and that is out number 3. So we head to the 7th inning. It is all Braves on a Wednesday night. 13-2. I am A-Bomb, and I will be right back. Rushers in. That's what I'm talking about. Welcome in, Bone Crusher. He is also a YouTuber. He also does Brave streams. So make sure to hit up his channel. And hopefully we'll get an announcement soon on when his next Brave stream will be. Doge currently trading at $0.25. We're in the top of the 7th inning. McCann is the batter for the Mets, and he looks at a ball. It's 1-2. Got a forecast coming your way in a little bit. One-two pitch is called strike 3. That's 1 out in the 7th. And Chavez has come on and pitched perfect so far. I promised you a check of the NBA scoreboard because the Hawks are making this deep playoff run. You know, it just makes the playoffs a lot more interesting, right? So, in a way, I'm scouting the Western Conference Finals in the event that we do make it to the finals. So we're either going to be playing the Phoenix Suns or the LA Clippers. And the series stands at 3-2. Suns up 3-2 in the series over the Clippers. And the Suns are leading in the first half, 45-38. I want the Clippers to come back and win this game and send that series to a Game 7. If nothing else, just to get both of the teams to play the max amount of games, so hopefully they'll get tired and maybe have some injuries mixed in there. Anything to get an edge. It's a 2-2 count on Chavez. You want a hockey update? The Montreal Canadiens are tied 1-1. A minute and 10 seconds left in the second period from Tampa. And these are the Stanley Cup Finals. Tampa won the first game. And there's strike 3 to Chavez. He strikes out. Wait a second. I'm sorry. I'm all ass backwards. I had it in my mind that the Braves were batting. That is not correct. Chavez just struck out a Mets player. I'm going to start looking at this game a little bit more closely. So 2 outs, top of the 7th. Pitch is foul down the right field line. It's 0-1. On the pitcher for the Mets, Sazpuki. How about a College World Series update? We're in the 9th inning, and Mississippi State has a 9-0 lead on Vanderbilt. Is that the College World Series final? And Chavez strikes the batter out, and that is 2 consecutive 1-2-3 innings for him. We now head to the bottom of the 7th inning. It's time to stretch. It's all Braves. And as far as that College World Series game, yeah, I think this is the final. And the way it looks, I think Mississippi State is probably about to be your College World Series champions. Stand by. I will verify that for sure as we move along. And here's an update. Tampa Bay just scored a goal, and they take a 2-1 lead at the very end of the second period. Tampa looking to go up 2-0 in the Stanley Cup Finals. Bone Crusher brings up a very good point. Why all the no-hitters? We'll discuss that and more as soon as we come back from this quick break. A-Bomb right back at you in 2 minutes and 2 seconds. Adrianza goes deep. I was like 2 seconds late getting back. That is a solo home run, and the Braves are up 14-2. 406 feet on that home run. I don't know why we've had so many no-hitters, but it's kind of crazy the way that's working out. We do know that the pitchers are now being looked at closely to make sure they don't put foreign substances on the ball. And they didn't start enforcing that until like last week. Maybe that's contributed to it. Adrianza pulled that one. That was a no-doubter. And yet, right, spider tack, as Bone Crusher mentioned. Yeah, I bet it has a lot to do with all that. You'll probably see the no-hitters stop altogether now that they're enforcing it. But that brings up another point. When did it start being okay to put a foreign substance on the ball? That was always illegal, right? If you remember back in the day, back in the 70s and 80s, pitchers would put Vaseline on the underside of the bill of their cap. And so they would just kind of rub a little bit up there and then rub up the ball, but that was illegal then. So the way that I see it is that maybe over the years, umpires just started looking the other way with it, I guess. And then all of a sudden this year it becomes a big deal. And as of last week, they are now enforcing the no foreign substance rule. Here comes the pitch to Austin Riley, and that one is a ball. He is 3 for 4. Let's see what he's done tonight. I guess I'm going to have to go to the box score and check it out. Welcome in Caden Foster. 1-1 to Riley. Let's see if I can figure out what he has done tonight. Well, this time he grounds it over to short, long throw to first, and he's out 2 down in the bottom of the 7th. So as far as home runs go tonight, we've had 1 from Adrianza, 1 from Ozzy Albies, and 1 from Acuna. Now it's Dansby's turn. Comes the pitch, and he takes that one inside. Dansby's 1 for 3 tonight, and he has scored a run. Pitch is in the dirt, 2-0. Bunch of rain delays going on. There's at least 3. There's a swing and a miss, 2-1 to Dansby. There's a rain delay in Philadelphia. There's a rain delay in Boston. Rain delay in Cincinnati. Atlanta has 18 hits tonight. Mets, 3 hits tonight. And a 2-1. And that is going to be called a strike right on the borderline. 2-2 now to Dansby. Hawks and Milwaukee Bucks tomorrow night. That's an 8:30 tip from Milwaukee. And then Game 6 comes back to Atlanta, and Dansby strikes out, and that retires the side. And then if there is a Game 7, that will be back in Milwaukee. Let's hope we can wrap it up in 6. Right now the Braves have a 14-2 lead, and we are headed to the 8th inning on Wednesday night. This is A-Bomb, right back with you. Welcome in, Slitta. Yeah, man. I was at that game last night. There's a video that I posted. That was great, man. I was just like you and everybody else. I heard that Trey Young was not going to start. I heard that on the radio as I was parking for the Hawks game last night. I'm like, oh, man, you're fucking kidding me? I was like, man, I don't even want to go now. I wish I could sell my ticket. That was the thinking I had last night as I was walking into the game. But, man, I am so glad I went to that thing last night. It was even sweeter since nobody thought we were going to win, including me. It was sweet being able to be at that and witness the absolute ass-kicking that we put on Milwaukee last night. And yeah, it sucks about Giannis for sure, but I have no problem saying this. I hope he makes a full recovery, but not until after the series is over, right? Yeah, I wish Giannis all the best. I hope after the series is over with, he goes back to the way he was before with no harm done. And there's an out, by the way. And that's the first out in the top of the 8th. Tomlin is your new Atlanta pitcher right now. And Slitta wants to know what's happened. How did we put up these 14 runs? I haven't been around for this game either. I didn't go live until about 15 minutes ago. And I did not watch the game or listen to it before I turned it on. When I turned it on, it was 13-2 Braves. But I did have a look at the box score. And, for instance, Freddie went 3 for 3 tonight and scored 4 runs. 4 runs scored by Freddie. That's pretty amazing. Ozzy Albies has scored 3 runs. He's 4 for 5 on the night. Austin Riley is 3 for 5. We've got 3 home runs in the game. Oh, yeah, you know it, man. Let us do something about that. We have a new mod. So Slitta should be a mod now. It's only fair, right? I'm a mod over on his channel. And so that brings up back to the top of the order for the Mets and Albert Almora Jr. But speaking of Slitta, make sure to go and sub up his channel. He's the one bringing you all the Hawks streams. And I don't know if we've got an announcement yet, Slitta, but are you doing the live stream for tomorrow night, for Thursday night, Hawks and Bucks, 8:30 tip-off from Milwaukee? And when there's not a game going on, there's plenty of good sports talk and Hawks talk, specifically lives and premieres and everything else on Slitta's channel. So make sure you go ahead and sub up Sports Live in the ATL. You will not be disappointed. Saturday's going to be fun, man. I'm going to a Braves game. It starts at 4. Should be over around 7:30. And then about an hour later, that Hawks game is going to come on. I don't know where I'm going to watch it. I don't know if I'm going to watch it down somewhere near the Braves game or if I'm going to be back in my apartment here in Gwinnett or just where I'm going to be. But it's going to be a fun day Saturday. Hopefully, we win both games. Hopefully, the Braves win and the Hawks win. And this whole series has been so un-Atlanta-like, right? We're so used to getting heartbroken when it comes to our sports teams. And there's a couple of times in the series where we've looked dead in the water. If you remember the 76ers series, we were down, 25 points? in Game 5, I think it was. And I'd already gone ahead and just had it in my head that the Hawks were going to lose, right? But we came back from that 25-point deficit. Then we went on to win the series. And then the same thing kind of happened last night. Nobody thought the Hawks were going to win last night, including me, including all the sports talk people in Atlanta, including Twitter. Everywhere you looked, nobody thought that the Hawks were going to win last night. But we did. Now we've tied up the series, and with Giannis' injury, all of a sudden it seems like we're the better team, with or without Trae Young. Bottom of the 8th inning, it is Heredia's turn. The 6, 7, and 8 batters do it for Atlanta. It's a 14-2 Atlanta lead, and the pitch is hit into left field. That's going to get down for extra bases. And Heredia's going to end up at second with a stand-up double. That's how the bottom of the 8th starts for Atlanta. So I think, back to the Hawks, that Giannis being out makes the Hawks a better team with or without Trae Young. A lot of people are thinking that Trae might make it back for the game tomorrow. But if he doesn't make it back for the game tomorrow, there's a good chance that he'll be available for Games 6 and 7. We hope so, at least. And I hope that Giannis is out for the rest of this series. And then we can advance to the finals. And speaking of the NBA, let's check on the score in the Western Conference Finals. Coming right up. So we've got a close one. There's a minute and 17 seconds left in the first half from LA, and the Suns have a 63-57 lead on the Clippers. If the Suns win tonight, they advance to the finals. If the Clippers win tonight, then that series goes to a Game 7. That's what we want to happen. We want that series to go to a Game 7 so they all get tired and injured and whatever, from playing 7 games. So we will keep a close eye on that one for you. And the batter is Almonte. There's a runner on second. There's nobody out, and it's a 3-0 count.
Something I could.
3-0 pitch is nowhere near, and Almonte walks, and we've got runners on first and second, nobody out, and something cooking for the Braves in the bottom of the 8th inning. Is it called insurance when you're padding a 14-2 lead? And we've had several double-digit scores around baseball tonight. In fact, let's go ahead and get a look at the scoreboard while we're at it. And first, the pitch to Kevon Smith, Braves catcher. And that's low. We've got a rain delay in the Bronx where the Yankees have a 7-4 lead on the Angels. Rain delay in the 5th inning there. Just out of a rain delay in Philadelphia, it's the 5th inning, and the Marlins have an 8-5 lead in that one. Next pitch is low. It's 2-0 to Kevon Smith. The Mariners have a 6-5 lead on the Blue Jays, 8th inning. We have a rain delay in Boston. 6th inning is where the Boston Red Sox and Royals are. And currently the Red Sox are up 5-2 on KC. Another rain delay, this time in Cincinnati. The Padres have a 7-5 lead in that rain delay that's in the 6th. As far as we know, it's dry in Houston, where the Orioles have a 4-2 lead on the Astros in the 5th inning. The White Sox up 5-1 on the Twins. The A's are shutting out the Rangers in the 2nd inning. It's A's 3, Rangers nothing. Scoreless between the Tigers and the Indians. And then we told you about some finals that have already come in. The Brewers beat the Cubs 15-7. The Nationals beat the Rays 15-6. The Tigers beat the Indians 9-4. That is a 7-inning final. And the Rockies beat the Pirates 6-2 from Colorado. Bone Crusher says Chuck and Chernoff syndicated show. I did not know they had a syndicated show. Or is it? I'm not sure. Chuck Chernoff. There's a show called Chuck and Chernoff in Atlanta, but they're very much Atlanta sports. I can't imagine how that would work in another market. But if you're talking about Matt Chernoff's show, yes, I think he does have a Saturday nationwide syndicated show. But during the week, he's paired up with Chuck Oliver. Interesting, though. Have to check that. Yeah, they need to replace him with Jim Rome. And looks like we've got a pitching change now. Bases loaded for the Braves. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. And the Mets have made the Verizon Wireless call to the bullpen. We'll be right back. Okay, we're back, and the Braves are trying to get even more. Bases loaded, nobody out. And new pitcher is in the game for the Mets. And it looked like he just threw a knuckleball up there. Am I seeing that right? God, this dude is throwing some slow stuff, man. Where's the radar gun on this? Yeah, he's bringing it up there at about 72 miles an hour. This dude's throwing knuckleballs, and it's already 3-0 to Ender Inciarte. Nowhere to put him. Here comes the 3-0 pitch with the bases loaded. Ball 4. That one came up at 65. Oh, I think I know what's going on. We've got a position player in pitching for the Mets. No wonder. Who is this? And there's ball 4. It's 15-2 as Ender gets an RBI for walking in a run. The Mets obviously have a position player pitching, and now we just need to tell you who this is. Almora. So here is Pablo Sandoval, bases loaded, nobody out. And the first pitch to him is inside, coming up there at 62 miles an hour. So the pitcher is the Mets center fielder. And he gets Sandoval to swing and miss. So it's 1-1, bases loaded, nobody out. Braves up 15-2, and Sandoval gets hit on that 67-mile-an-hour fastball. That's an RBI for Sandoval now, and it's 16-2. Bases loaded, and now the Mets have walked in a run and then hit by pitch for a run. And we'll see how long this center fielder can stay in and pitch for the Mets. It took me a minute to figure out what was going on. I thought we had some knuckleballer in there in relief. But no, it's a center fielder. Next pitch is in the dirt. And that is a 1-0 count now on... Who is it? Who's batting for the Braves right now? It's Adrianza. He looks at ball too. This is getting ridiculous. Bases loaded, still nobody out. 2-0 count to Adrianza. The 2-0 pitch. That one catches the corner. Two-one pitch, grounded over to first. First baseman fields it and throws on to the pitcher covering first, and that's an out. But a run scores in the process. It's 17-2. Runners on second and third, now with one out. And Ozzy Albies steps in. He hit home run number 14 tonight. Ozzy hits another one, and this one leaves the yard. That is a 3-run home run. It is 20-2. Braves have a 20-burger on the board. And Ozzy has 7 RBIs tonight. Hell yes. He goes the other way, opposite field, for the 3-run bomb. Does it count if it comes against a center fielder? Well, yes it does. And so now the bases are clear. There's still only one out. And that brings up Austin Riley. He's having a night himself. 3 for 5. If you remember last year, the Braves put up 29 against the Marlins. I remember watching that game. That was a lot of fun.
Selling our...
The pitch. Austin Riley puts a charge into this one, but that's going to be caught just shy of the warning track for out number 2.
Well, if they don't check Almora's glove, what I really hope happens is Jacob DeGrom walks up to and offers him some tips about what to do next time he has to come out and pitch. so fun being on that end of a game like this. This is one the Braves really needed after their tough outing last night.
Here's the pitch to Dansby. It's inside.
Dropping a game in the standings.
Well, I mean, that was one of my four keys, right? Rebound. I think they rebounded pretty well tonight.
Yep. I think he said something about score early too, right?
That was one of Nick's, I think.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss. And it's 1-1.
They're all so good.
Whatever anybody's keys were tonight, I'm pretty sure we hit them all.
20 runs on 20 hits. That's pretty efficient.
Tony Richmond is checked in. Welcome in, brother. We've got 20 runs on the board. And it's an 0-2 count to Dansby. No, to answer Bo Crusher's question, we have not subbed up or subbed in or taken out players. Just a regular lineup coming through there. Although, wait a second, let me back up because Freddie Freeman was subbed out at some point. So, yeah, actually, we have done that.
I believe 0.69 ERA. Showed he was human in his last start. He actually gave up a couple of runs.
Bottom of the 8th inning. This is A-Bomb with you.
The 0-2.
0-2 pitch inside.
One ball, 2 strikes.
Tomorrow with a little Louis Tion on that one.
Braves had 9 hits with runners in scoring position over 11 games. Coming in, they had 9 such hits tonight. That is the
There's a ball. 2-2 to Dansby. Let's see what's going on in the hockey game. Stanley Cup Finals. Tampa has a 2-1 lead on Montreal. That is in the third period, and Tampa has a 1-0 lead in that series, looking to go up 2-0. It's halftime in LA, where the Suns have a 66-57 lead on the Clippers. We want the Clippers to win that game and force a Game 7. That's what we're hoping for. Doing great, Tony. Thanks, man. Appreciate you. Hope you're doing well, too, man. It's been a pretty good week. It's been a fun week, especially with the Hawks doing their thing. And anytime you can put a 20 spot up on the board, you know, that makes things even better, too. We will check all the baseball scores before we get out of here, and all the other scores for that matter. There's a ground ball foul. Count is 3-2 to Dansby.
That was up to 80.
Yeah, his last few fastballs been pretty good. Mixed in a nice little curveball. He hasn't thrown it for a strike yet, but
And a full count. Here's the payoff pitch.
Opponent had a nice pick at third.
Nice play at third. Third baseman bounces it over to first, and the side is retired. But 6 runs go up on the board in the bottom of the 8th, and the Braves take a 20-2 lead. I will be right back. Top of the 9th, and the exciting conclusion of this one coming up next. top of the ninth. Don't think we're going to give this one away. Mets need 18 to tie it. And first batter of the ninth inning just flied out to center field. That's out number 1. Santana is the new Braves pitcher. This is not a safe situation. So Tony Richmond's already tired of the summertime. I hear you, man. I hear you on that. My job does not matter. You know, it's not like you were, you know, you really notice it. So I feel for you on there, man. I hear you. You know, I know it's probably a lot easier to work in those cooler months for sure. But unfortunately, Tony, we are just getting started in the summertime. And it ain't going to get cooler for about 3 months. You know the drill around here. And yes, I can confirm that Mississippi State is your College World Series champions. Not Mississippi, but Mississippi State. That is their first ever College World Series. Congratulations, Mississippi State, winning the whole thing. The 1-2 pitch is a little bit low to Conforto, and there's a 2-2 count there. But yeah, Tony, man, I hope that that somehow you're able to deal with this heat and just not think about it. Next pitch is fouled away. It's still 2-2. Here is the 2-2 pitch. That's low. And it's a full count to Conforto. Same two teams tomorrow night. It is a 7:20 first pitch. And there's a walk. There is a walk with 1 out. We now have the second half underway in the Western Conference Finals. The Suns are up 66-57 on the Clippers. Mazika, the batter for the Mets, and he fouls away the first pitch. The 0-1 is popped up, and it stays in play, and Adrianza comes over to grab it on the warning track in foul territory. And we've got 2 outs in the top of the ninth. 1 more to go. So this will allow the Braves to get back a full game. So the Braves are going to be 4.5 games out of first as soon as this one goes final. And if we can somehow win tomorrow, then we would be 3.5 games back. We really, really need to win these head-to-heads with the Mets so we can gain that ground. Braves are in 4th place, 37-41, 5.5 games behind the Mets. At this second, about to be 4.5 as soon as we can record this next out. Joshua Grimshaw, welcome in. Here's the 0-1 pitch. There's a ground ball through in a left center field for a base hit. And the Mets have something going on. We've got runners on first and second, 2 out. And they need 18 to tie. Tony, I hear you on that we need to get 500 thing. How many times this year have we been within 2 or 3 games of 500 and then we go on a losing streak? That's what happened the most recent time. We just got within a couple of games last week, and then we went on a slide. Batter is McKinney. He's 0 for 3 tonight. If we win, I was about to say if we win tonight. When we win tonight, our record will improve to 38 and 41. We'll be 3 games out of 500. And there's strike 2. Game 3, the final game of this 3-game set tomorrow. 7:20 start, and then the Marlins come in for a weekend series. And as I mentioned, I will be at the game this Saturday. And make sure to hit that notification bell because I will be bringing you some live video from the Braves game. The 0-2 pitch, swung on and missed, strike 3, Braves win. Your final score from Truist Park, Atlanta 20, New York Mets 2. Hell to the yes. So, we've tied this series so far. Both teams have won a game, and the rubber game and the deciding game is tomorrow. And so, we like to go over all the scores. But you know what? Before that, before we even get to the scores, we're going to go over all of the scoring plays that occurred in this game. I did not turn this game on until approximately the 5th inning, so I missed a lot of the scoring. So let's go ahead and get started on that. As soon as I can get the box score up on my screen, we will go over all the scoring plays brought to you tonight by treasurehunt.ga, home of Beth's Paintings. And so the Mets actually got on the board first. In the top of the first inning, Pete Alonso hit a monster home run, a 443-foot blast. It was a 2-run job, and the Mets were immediately up 2-0 before the Braves even came to bat. But not to worry. In the bottom of the first inning, Ronald Acuna led off the Braves batting with a 447-foot solo home run, and the score was 2-1 at that point. Later in that same inning, Ozzie Albies drove in Freddie. That made the score 2-2. Then we go all the way to the bottom of the third inning. It was 2-2 at that point, and then it became 4-2 really quick when Austin Riley hit a single and 2 runs scored as a result. 4-2 Braves. Kevon Smith also with a single to left field in the 4th inning. That made the score 5-2 Atlanta. Again in the 4th, Freddie Freeman drove in 2 with a single. Check that, drove in 1 with a single. That made it 6-2 Braves. Also in the 4th, Ozzie Albies had a RBI single. That made it 7-2 Braves. Austin Riley had an RBI single in the 4th. That made it 8-2 the Braves. Also in the 4th, Heredia had a 2-run double. That made it 10-2 Braves. Almonte grounded out to the pitcher and got an RBI in the process. That made it 11-2 Braves. And then in the 5th inning, and good night, Tony. We'll see you next time. By the way, appreciate you stopping by, and we always like it when you stop in, so we'll see you next time. Almonte, I think we just covered that. grounded out to the pitcher. That made it 11-2. Then in the 5th inning, Ozzie Albies hit a home run. It was a 2-run blast. That made it 13-2. Adrianza in the 7th inning hit a home run to make it 14-2. In the 8th inning, that's when all the craziness happened. That's when the Mets brought in their center fielder to pitch, and it got out of control really fast. In the bottom of the 8th inning, the bases were loaded, and Enciarte walked. That made it 15-2. Then Pablo Sandoval came to the plate with the bases loaded, got hit. That made it 16-2 Braves. And in the same inning, Adrianza grounded out to first base. That drove in a run. That made it 17-2. And then to cap it all off in the bottom of the 8th, Ozzie Albies hit his 2nd home run of the night. It was a 2-run bomb. That made it 20-2 Atlanta. And that's how this one ended. Ozzie Albies is your Budweiser player of the game. 2 home runs for him tonight and 7 RBIs. That is a career high. So your final score, once again from Truist Park, it was a good one. It was Atlanta 20, the New York Mets 2. And so it was a lot of fun bringing you this one tonight. I'd been away for a couple of days. Good to see everybody. Get caught back up, and we'll do it again real soon. Don't know when I'll be around for the next one. It might be tomorrow night. So make sure to hit the notification bell so you know when all this amazing live content is coming your way. A-Bomb saying so long on a hump day. See you next time.